Good morning, fifth graders. Today we are going to be taking two concepts that we've learned and combining them. So at the beginning of this trimester actually, we learned about geometric shapes and their attributes. And then this unit we've been working on plotting coordinate points onto a coordinate plane. So what we're going to be doing in today's lesson is taking those two concepts and combining them. Okay, I believe you're on page 91. You might need to check, but we're on Unit 10, Lesson 4. Okay, our objective or our goal today is, today I will graph shapes using coordinate points, period. Okay, so we already understand all those words in our goal because we've been doing coordinate points and we know what shapes are and we know graphing is we're going to be plotting them. There is one or two words that I just want to quickly review from our vocabulary. Right here it says a vertex. A vertex is an exact location on a plane, a coordinate point, where two sides of a plane shape meet and form an angle. So a plane shape is just a flat, closed shape, flat and closed. And key word here is where two sides meet and then form an angle. That's really what a vertex is. So let's look at a triangle. A triangle, the two sides meet right here and form a point. That is called a vertex. Oops, sorry, I just realized you couldn't see that one. Okay, here, this would be also another vertex and a vertex because two sides meet at this point and two sides meet at that point. So we would say that a triangle has three, not vertexes, but three vertices because vertices is the plural for vertex. So if I drew maybe a parallelogram, I would say the two sides meet at this point, two sides meet at this point, two sides meet at that point, and two sides meet at that point. So this has four vertices. So it's just where two sides of a flat shape meet and form an angle. Okay, we're not really going to worry about the steps today because I'm just going to show you this. Okay, so I'm going to set down my green pen and grab my red. You do, I believe, have the same notes that I have, just reminding you of all the shapes that we kind of went over if you need to refer to that. So here is my first problem. Graph and label the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. Connect the points, identify the geometric shape, and give its number of vertices. Okay, so there's a lot of directions there. First, it just wants me to graph and label the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. So I'm just going to start with that. Okay, so my coordinate plane, the scale is 1 on my x and the scale is 1 on my y. They already have my axes labeled for me. Here is my origin. And my first coordinate or ordered pair they want me to plot is 1, 5. So remember our rule, we always put x, y on top of them. So my first x is 1. And my first y is 5. Now, because I'm going to be plotting a lot on one coordinate plane, I don't think I want all my lines. I think I'm just going to go for my fingers. So there's what they said. They want me to graph the ordered pair, but they also want me to label it. So they said, so I'll put an A there. Okay, let's find my B. Again, let's label it X, Y. So it might be messy if I try. If you had different colors, you might want to use different colors if you're going to be circling, just so they don't get too mixed up. So this one, I tried pink, but it looks like red. 2, 2, and they meet right there. And that is where B is. Let's use my green. So C is X, Y, and my X is 7. And my y is 2 again. And where do those meet? Right there. And that was C. And then my D is x6 and y5. So my x is 6 and my y is 5 again, and they meet right there. Okay, so I graphed and labeled them. Those are my first set of directions. My next set of directions says connect the points. Okay, so we can connect the points. Okay, my next set of points says identify the geometric shape. Well, that shape is actually a quadrilateral. So we could call it a quadrilateral. I know because it's a four-sided closed shape. So we could give it that name. But I think its more specific, better name would be called a parallelogram. So it is a parallelogram. And the reason is because a parallelogram has two sets of parallel lines. So that line and that line are parallel. And this line and this line are also parallel. So that makes that a parallelogram. And then our last set of directions say give its number of vertices. It had 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could say 4 vertices. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn the page and let's do one more. Okay, this one says draw a coordinate plane and plot the following pairs. Okay, connect the points, identify the geometric shape, and give its number of vertices. So our rules are pretty much the same. And if I look, again, my scale is 1 on both my x and y, so I can just get started. Okay, my first x is 1, and my first y is 3, and they meet right there for a W. I'm going to try my colors again. My next one is my x is 3 and my y is 1. So they meet right there. And that was labeled x. Okay, my next one, my x is 5 and my y is 3. So 5, 3. And that would be right here. That is y. And my last one, my x is 3 again, and my y is 5. So that would be right here, which is D. Okay, so we drew them and labeled them. Now let's connect them. And identify the shape. Okay, well, some people might think because it's kind of slanted that it's a rhombus, but if I actually look at it, it's very clear that these are right angles to me. And my sides look congruent. So a quadrilateral that has congruent sides and 4 right angles is called a square. And its number of vertices were 4. We plotted 4 vertices. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's try some together. I believe you're on page 96. You want to turn to page 96 with me. It says graph and label the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. Connect the points, identify the geometric shape, and give its number of vertices. So our same directions again. Okay, and my scale is 1 on my x-axis. My scale is 1 on my y. So we're just ready to go. So my first x is 3 and my first y is 2, which would be right there. If you want to change colors like I did, you're welcome to. If you don't have different colors, you can just use your pencil. My second letter is J. So my x is 9 and my y is 2 again, which would be right there. Okay, my next one is another x of 9 and a y of 5, which means it would be right there, and that is K. Okay, my next one is an x of 6 and a y of 5 again, which looks like it's right there. So that would be L. And then my last one looks like an x of 3 and a y of 5, which looks like it would be right there. I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere I made a mistake and I just found it. Okay, we're gonna have to go back and do some correcting. So let's go back because something's not looking right to me. And that means it's a clue that I need to check my work. So let's look at I, 3 and 2, that worked. Let's look at J, 9 and 2, that worked. Let's look at K, 9 and 5, that looked. Let's look at L. Oh, hopefully many of you caught that before I did. I did 6 for my X, but did I really do 8 for my Y? No. So my L should have been up here, not there. I'll give you a few moments to see if you can correct my mistake, and I apologized for that. Okay. That looks better. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to correct that. All right, so now let's connect them. It looks like a house. Well, a house is not a geometric figure though. So because it has 5 vertices, I know its geometric shape is called a pentagon. Penta tells me there's the 5 vertices, and it had 5 vertices. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being so patient as I made a mistake on that one. I'm going to be much more careful on our second one together. Okay, our second one says, draw a coordinate plane and plot the following points. Connect the points, identify the geometric shape, and give its number of vertices. So again, we have the same rules or directions. This time, what do you notice? They did not label our axes for us. They didn't tell us this is the Y. They didn't tell us this is the X. They didn't tell us this is the origin, which is 0, 0, and they didn't do our scale. So before I do my scale, I would probably check. My X's are 1, 7, 7, and 1. So that tells me I could count by ones. So look where the numbers go, right under the line. You're gonna have to write really small. And if you did it accurately, you should be able to get to 10. Let's check our Y's. Our Y's are 3, 3, 6, 6. So it looks like I could also do a scale of ones and have enough room. And I should have got to 10 as well. Okay, so now we can plot, and Miss Munoz is going to be much more careful. So my first X is 1. My first Y is 3. So we have E goes right there. My next X is 7, and my Y is also 3, so it looks like it goes right here, and that was F. Okay, my next X is 7 again, and my Y is 6, which looks like it would go right here, and that was called G. And then my last one, my X is 1 again, and my Y is 6 again, which looks like it goes right there. Okay, so we plotted our ordered pairs. So these are ordered pairs, these are coordinate points. And now we'll connect them. And I think that's a shape we're all very familiar with. It's a rectangle, and it had 4 vertices. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for being flexible with my mistake. Today, you're only doing page 97 on your own. And have a nice afternoon. I will see you tomorrow.